Welcome to everybody. Early afternoon. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? If you could hear me, please put the number one in the chat. If you could hear me, put the number one in the chat. If you could hear me, put the number one in the chat. If you could hear me, put the number one in the chat. How you doing? All right. Nikki Love is in the building already. Big up to my people on Instagram and on Facebook. How you doing today? Today I am doing something a little different. And I believe it will serve the community very well if the community is open to it. Let me say that from the beginning. It will serve the community well if the community is open to it. Today's lesson on March the 15th, I want to say happy birthday, happy born day to two good friends of mine celebrating their birthday today. Happy born day to Paris Williams. And those that are in Atlanta, Georgia, if you want to see Paris Williams today, I don't know if I'm going to make it out there, but if you want to see Paris Williams today, Paris is actually having a book signing here in Atlanta, Georgia at the Zen Bar. All right. At the Zen Bar in the West End. All you have to do is put up the name Zen Bar, and she'll be there from 2 p.m. if you want to show love to Paris Williams. All right. Of course, you've seen her commercial run. And I want to say today is not her birthday. Her birthday is actually the 17th, but today is my dear friend Mama Ella's birthday. Today is Mama Ella's birthday today. Today is Mama Ella's birthday, and I understand that she's in Jamaica having a good old time. She is in Jamaica or one of those Caribbean islands having a good old time. So happy birthday to Mama Ella, who's been a friend of mine for many years. So I hope she's enjoying her trip. And I hope and I hope her and her husband is enjoying the trip away from the children, of course. And I totally understand. Sometimes you gotta take those trips away. And do remember that Mama Ella will be with us on the 19th, next Wednesday. But this coming Sunday, we have Cinnamon Moreau discussing her new publication, Grandma's Secrets: The Art of Living a Traditional Life in a Modern World. And remember, every Tuesday, we are doing a thing called we're doing a series called Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. What happened and how can we change it and heal it? All right. This is audience participation. That means you could either cam up or you could call in. All right. And our first one was with Dr. Phil Valentine, but make sure you go look that up. I do have the first segment online right now, and the rest of it is on Patreon. The complete segment is on my Patreon. Make sure you go to my Patreon page at patreon.com/King Simon Productions for exclusive content. I even got exclusive content with Dr. Sabi and Shahrazad Ali and all of that. Also coming to our Tuesday program will be the one, the only Mfundishi Jehutimas. All right. And also Abundance Child will be coming to our program. Also, the today's consciousness. Yes. Okay. Preparing for her new radio show on April the 3rd is a new date. April 3rd. It was supposed to be March 27th, but she moved it to April the 3rd. So today's subject, and it is a very timely subject because today is the 15th, and the number 6 is the number of beauty. It's one of the numbers of beauty. Let me say that because number 2 is also one of the numbers of beauty in its own way. Number 4 is also one of the numbers of beauty in its own way. Number 8 is one of the numbers of beauty in its own way, but 6 is known as the primary number of beauty, truth, justice, reciprocity, healing, and beauty. So again, I want to say happy born day to my dear friend, Mama Ella. And I want to say welcome to Georgia again, the one, the only Paris Williams, who will be at the Zen Bar. I don't know if I'm going to make it there because by the way, family, I did get to speak to my father today. I didn't get to speak to him yesterday. Didn't answer the phone. He was resting, but my brother did text me. He's doing well. He's in good spirit. He was laughing with me. I was talking about going to the Bible because he is a minister. So I told him to go to the Bible and go get those herbs. Find out about the herbs because herbs are for the healing of the nation, according to the Bible. So my father is doing well. And thanks for all of you for spreading your prayers and showing me love for my father going through his stroke, which is finding out it wasn't a major stroke and it didn't obstruct any of his faculties, but it was like a minor stroke. So I'm glad that he got through that. My pops, and he's 81 years of age, and he'll be 82 this year. My mother, she's 86 and she'll be 87. So it's good to have both your parents, and those that have lost their parents in transition, always remember them. And I know I have a lot to remember from both my mother and father when they do decide to make that move to the next realm. But today is a timely presentation, and I want you all right now to share, like, and subscribe. Please share this with some family members that may be going through some stuff, especially in relationships, or people that's been calling them out of their name, calling them ugly or whatever. But always remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I have some notes. I got a lot of notes, and I'm going to go to the board to break down the actual saying. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And remember, you could also donate to the channel, whether through paypal.me/King Simon or paypal.me/the Numerovator, and also by Venmo and super chat and super sticker and all that. But I will pin the PayPal account to the top of the chat so y'all can have it, just in case you want to spread love the righteous way, because we do believe in circulating funds. The more we circulate, the more it comes back to us. So currency is constantly circulating back to me a trillion folds. That's right. Currency is constantly circulating back to me a trillion folds. And that is what y'all need to say. Anytime you spend money or circulate money in any way, whether it's through YouTube, whether it's through a show that you like, always say these words. Currency is circulating back to me, and those who support me a trillion folds. Dr. B gave us that affirmation. Currency is circulating back to me 1,000 folds, but I want it to be reciprocal and say more. So I say currency is circulating back to me and those who support me a trillion folds. So when I'm saying that, I'm not only wishing myself currency or money or finance, I'm also wishing you currency and money and finance if you're supporting different people at different platforms. So anytime you share money or pay a bill or pay for food, or whether you're paying rent or paying mortgage, always say or write it down on top of that check or on top of the money and say, currency is circulating back to me and those who support me. But if you just want to keep it simple, just say currency is circulating back to me a trillion folds. Shoot for the trillions. So just in case you land amongst the thousands and the millions, it's all right. At least you still continue to keep on wishing yourself well as wishing other people around you, family members, all of that. All right. So may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be respectful to the Almighty Creator of the, and may the Creator always show me love, show all of us love. The creative force, whether you call it Jah, God, Allah, Yahweh, whatever you call it, he or she, divine masculine, divine feminine, yin, yang, whatever you call it, Buddha, whatever you call your creator. I ask that the creator guide me through this particular broadcast because at one point of time of my life, and I could only speak from my perspective and then what I've seen in families and my family and studying and researching and watching documentaries and all that, there is a beauty suffering issue going on in our families. People suffering from who's lighter and whose hair look better, who's more beautiful, whose hair look nappy and not this, and who's too light or who's albino and who's all of this. So this saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, is a very important saying in history. And the popularized or widely, and this saying is widely attributed to Margaret Wolfe Hungerford, who used it in her 1878 novel, Molly Bawn. Now, what is interesting about that date? I want all my smart numerovators out there, add that date up, add that year up, 1878. And what did you get? I want y'all to put it in the chat. What did y'all get when you added 1878 together? When you added 1878, when you add 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8, what did you get? Put it in the chat. Everybody put it in the chat. You see the date that this particular quote was popularized? I want you to put it in the chat. What does it add up to? Let me see my smart numerovators out there because this is the numerovational perspective. Add it up correctly now. 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8. How much does it add up to? Come on now. 1 plus 8 plus 7 plus 8 equals what? Come on now. Let me see some smart people. D Knight says 6. Exactly. That's right. It's a number 6. I don't know where Xavier got 8 from, but it is a number 6. It adds up to 24, and it adds up to a number 6. 2 plus 4 equals 6. Yes. And what did I just say? That the number 6 is the primary number of beauty. So it's not surprising that this particular quote, as said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's not surprising that this particular quote deals with beauty. And I try to tell people, pay attention to patterns, cycles, and sequences. So this particular quote, this saying is widely attributed to Margaret Wolfe Hungerford from her novel called Molly Bawn. Now, I've never read it. Never read it. However, and that's why mathematics is such a precise thing. We can't play with mathematics. You can't, when I do somebody's session, I have to do math. That's why I don't like to do these quickies on the street or at festivals. I'll do it, but because I have to deal with math, I'll even carry my calculator with me. Because if you're doing it in your head and you mess up with one of the numbers or you mess up with one of the letters in the numbers, you could throw off the whole name, you could throw off the whole birthday, you could throw off everything. That's why math is very important. Xavier, I got to point y'all out like students in a class. Don't just throw up a number 8 without really going through it. Xavier threw up the number 8 like out of his head. This is what you're guessing? No. When you're in a classroom, you're going to get that wrong. That's why you always have to make sure you cross-reference what you say and what you are studying. Cross-reference. That's what math, that's why math is used in every science. I don't care what science you got out there. Metaphysics science, regular science, mathematics is the foundation of it because mathematics has its precision and it is direct. It is straight to the point. And like I said to people, numbers don't care if you believe in it or not. Numbers work behind the scenes, whether you believe it or not, whether you believe in the construct of time, whether you believe in a computer, the 0, 1s always are working in every apparatus that we use, from computers to telephones, telephone apparatus, whatever we use. The 0 and 1s are always working until they change it to another mathematical frequency. That's why Nikola Tesla recognized the 369 in his patterns of science. He kept on seeing it. It wasn't that he kept on seeing 3 of this and 6 of this and 9 of this. He kept on seeing the patterns of 3, 6, and 9 showing up in different equations. And so is Robert E. Grant. If you read his book, Philomath. If you read his book, I have his book. Y'all think I don't study. Where's his book at? Hold on. Y'all think I be playing. I don't be joking with this. I'm not new to this, family. I'm not new to this. I'm going to study and research. I'm not new to this at all. I am true to this, like y'all always hear me say. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. Let me put that on the ground. Here's another book, The Mysteries of Numbers, by Robert E. Grant's friend, Talal Ghatnam, Dr. Talal Ghatnam. The Mysteries of Numbers. So I'm not playing games with this. So when people come and do a consultation with me, I'm not playing games with you. I'm going to give you your positive and your negative. You got to have your bull crap so you know how to clean up the bull crap along the route, along the way. Somebody asked me in one of the sessions, and many people have asked me in one of the sessions, am I supposed to be single for the rest of my life? And I looked at the person's number, male or female, and I could see where they could be single, but especially if you got a lot of 5s in your chart. If you got a lot of 5s in your chart, that means you love your freedom. So anybody that deals with you, whether you have your life path as a 5, you're born on the 5, your alignment is a 5, or your name has a whole bunch of 5s, it might add up to a 5, you love your freedom. So it's hard for people born or connected to the 5, the 14, or the 23 to be controlled in that way unless the person that they're dealing with will allow them to be themselves and allow them to be free. And they'll always come back. They'll always come back. Because you allow them the freedom that the 5 needs. That part. So when people ask me, I've been looking for a mate for too long, and do you think that in my numbers, I'm supposed to be forever single? No. But you got to remember, I wrote the book, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. So I can simply find a connection that would relate and connect with you. However, if you have had these complicated traumas over the years that have formed you and shaped you, that you can't even feel that you can live with somebody, and you have to recognize they have their own traumas and dramas that they might not be able to live with you, then of course it's not going to work. Then of course. So you got to look at all angles. That's what I love about studying numbers. That's right, family. Don't play with me. Don't come to me for a session if you ain't ready for the mathematical truth. especially if you've been single for a certain amount of years, especially women and all that. I've been single for a certain amount of years and I want somebody. And that's why some of them end up with dogs and cats and birds and turtles and pet rocks and all that kind of stuff. You got a whole pet rock that you pet in the rock and showing it love and say, let me dress up this rock and see what it looked like. One of my daughters used to have a pet rock. It was so funny. And then the pet rock disappeared. I thought, how in the world did a pet rock disappear? I don't know. But I used to tease her all the time because every time she had a pet, they always died on her. She told me one time she wanted to be a veterinarian. I said, if you have pets and they always die and you want to be a veterinarian, I think you need to change your field into a mortician. I remember telling her that. Maybe you should have a pet cemetery instead of being a veterinarian. I remember telling her that. It was so hilarious. But she was so young and vibrant. She wanted to be this veterinarian. It was good. It was cute. But they kept on dying. Even the rock died. As far as I'm like, Lord have mercy. Don't be a veterinarian. So getting back to the point, because I can go on a tangent. Getting back to the point, today's numerovational, spiritual, and physical perspective, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I wanted to go to the meanings or the sayings and where it came from, if you don't mind. I want to go straight to that real quick. Okay, so look, the origins of the saying. These are the origins of the saying. The saying, beauty in the eye of the beholder, is believed to have originated from ancient and classical ideals about aesthetics and perception, but the phrase in its modern form emerged in the 19th century. So this is all online research we're looking at right now. In ancient and classical roots, Greek philosophy, philosophers like Plato and Aristotle discuss beauty as something subjective and influenced by perception. Plato, however, also believed in an ideal form of beauty beyond human perception. Shakespeare, 16th century, variations of the ideal appear in Shakespeare's works, such as in Love's Labor Lost in 1588, where he writes, beauty is brought by judgment of the eye. So that's one of the sayings that they also connecting this saying to. Beauty is brought by the judgment of the eye. Very interesting. Very interesting. Now look at that number 1588, the year that supposedly came out. 1 plus 5 plus 8 plus 8 equals 22. Like I said earlier, 6 is a primary number of beauty, but the number 2 is also the prime of a number of beauty also. The number 4, all even numbers in their own aspects have their own beauty, but all numbers have their own beauty also. But primary numbers, 6 and 2 and 4 and 8 can be also considered beauty numbers, but 6 and 2 definitely are the primary number of beauty, beautification. All right. So this 1588 adds up to 22. Look at the double twos already, the double twos. So in the early English version, David Hume's 18th century, the Scottish philosopher, wrote an essay, Morals and Political. Beauty in things exists merely in the mind which contemplates them. Interesting. Beauty in things. Beauty in things. This is a political essay now. This is totally different than a play and then just a saying. Now, what I noticed with what that added up to, it added up to the number 14, which is a 5. Interesting enough, 5 can also be considered a number of beauty because of its magnetism. And I've heard certain numerologists under the other system saying that people born under the 5 are the most beautiful. So that's especially dealing with physical beauty. So for that particular year to be added up to 14, which is a 5, is very interesting to me, because I know in certain systems of numerology, being totally honest and transparent, although I've known that 6 and 2 were primary numbers, in certain systems of numerology, the number 5 is also considered a number of beauty. And 1 plus 7 plus 4 plus 2 equals 14, and 1 plus 4 equals 5. Okay. Beautiful beauty in things exists merely in the mind which contemplates them. Benjamin Franklin in the 18th century, he also referred the ideal in his writing, emphasizing subjective perception. Now, we already talked about this. In the modern phrase, the exact phrase "beauty in the eyes of the beholder" first appeared in print in Margaret Wolfe Hungerford's novel Molly Bawn in 1878 and 1878 as up to 24, which is a 6. 2 plus 4 equals 6. She used it to suggest that beauty is a matter of personal perception rather than universal agreement. Since then, the phrase has become a widely accepted idiom, reinforcing the ideal that beauty is subjective and varies from person to person. Powerful, powerful. See, I just wanted to show y'all something. Just wanted to share something with y'all, if y'all don't mind. All the different variations of where this saying came up. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it's very important. Then we're going to go to the lesson. We're going to go to the lesson. I do have the lesson already primed up and ready. But I want to go to the board, if you don't mind. Are y'all ready for me to go to the board? I'll be going back and forth between the board and the lesson. Please put the number 1 in the chat if you want me to go to the board. I'm going to be back and forth with the board. Are y'all ready for me to go to the board? Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? I'm ready like Freddie. Lot of mercy. Lot of mercy. I'm ready like Freddie. Put the number 1 in the chat if you want me to go to the board. I'm ready to go to the board. I'm ready to open it up wide like a door. Put the number 1 in the chat if you're ready for me to go to the board, because I'm about to do it anyway. Do it till you satisfy, whatever it is. I want to do it. Do it in the morning. There's the board. Now, oh man, this is beautiful. All right. We're going to learn today. Okay, so what I found very interesting, family, the word beauty adds up to the number 20. And remember, because you're dealing with beauty is in the eye of the beholder. From a numerical perspective, the word beauty adds up to 20, and 20 is the number of the awakening. So in order for you to recognize your own beauty, you have to be awakened to it. Because not every child, not every baby knows that it's beautiful until someone tells it it is beautiful. Not everybody recognizes its beauty until it exerts or performs something that's beautiful or allow it to come out of you. Because even the Elephant Man, I'm not talking about the reggae artist, even the Elephant Man had a beautiful energy, a beautiful spirit, to the point that Michael Jackson wanted to buy the bones of the Elephant Man. Even Michael Jackson wanted to buy the bones of the Elephant Man. I think he did buy it. I'm not sure if anybody remember that, because remember Michael Jackson was so intrigued. And, you know, Michael being born August the 29th, 2 plus 9 equals 11, and 11 equals that 2. He's seen deeper meaning into beauty of things. Because when you're born under those beautified numbers, that number 2 shows up. That means you see the internal of a person. You don't just see the external of the person. Put a number 2 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. That's why Michael Jackson seen beauty in the story of Elephant Man, the one that was born with that deformity and that disease that made his skin look like an elephant. Put the number 2 in the chat if you understand what I'm saying. Why Michael Jackson was so important to the beautification of culture, because he's seen the beauty even in the Elephant Man. Go look up the Elephant Man. And again, I'm not talking about the reggae artist Elephant Man. There's a certain sense of beauty. There's a certain sense of internal understanding you have to look beyond the physical frame of an elephant man in history. That was so beautiful. And although when I was young and I seen it, I thought it was crazy. Why is he buying bones, or why is he admiring that? But I did see the documentary. I remember watching that documentary when I was wrong. And of course, we got to remember he was suffering from something, but yet in conversation with him, according to the documentary, he had such a beautiful spirit. The Elephant Man with that elephant-like skin, and he had the whole elephant look. And there was a whole lot of jokes made around him and all that stuff, and comedy and all that stuff. Look back into the history. Look back into history. But also, the word beauty. Let me say this. The word beauty in the study of numbers adds up to the number 19, which is a 10, which is 1. 19, y'all know it's the sun in tarot, so it's supposed to shine light onto things. So you got to shine light within the beauty. But remember, it adds up to a number 1. 1 deals with the me, myself, and I understanding you have to have about beauty. Whether you feel or whether people was calling you ugly for all your life or calling you out of your name all your life, the real beauty is within you, which is dealing with the 1 aspect, because it's the me, myself, and I aspect, but dealing with the intuitive aspect of the number 2, because 2 is a number of intuition. So when I read the whole name, the whole words, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, it added up to 145. 145 adds up to 10, which is number 1. Again, leading you to the me, myself, and I energy, and leading you to the wheel of fortune energy also. Because once you recognize beauty is in the eye of the beholder, you can be fortunate if you recognize it from a spiritual perspective, from an individual perspective, the number 1, from a disciplinary perspective, from a number 4, and from an adaptability perspective, the number 5, which equals that number 10, which is the wheel of fortune. In another aspect, I found out that it added up to 730 when I added 25 plus 13 plus 27 plus 91 plus 95 plus 28 plus 55 plus 75 plus 65 plus 28 plus 52 plus 58 plus 63 plus 45 plus 9. It added up to 730. And 730 adds up to a 10 also. However, 7 deals with the spiritual aspect of this saying. That's why you have to go within. It's a law of attraction number, the number 7 brings, and then number 3 deals with manifestation and expanding. So you have to spiritually understand why beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and then expand, not just physically, but also spiritually, because 0 adds extremity and divine protection that behind anything that it follows. Put the number 10 in the chat if you understand what your brother is saying. Put the number 10 in the chat if you understand what you're. And I didn't even go downstairs to the Chaldean system yet. The oldest of the system. Those that don't know, now you know. The oldest of the system, Pythagorean is on top, Chaldean is on the bottom. The oldest of the system also reveals another number. Very important. So going back to the lesson, family. In the lesson, again, I quote from the online source, from a spiritual perspective, the saying beauty in the eye of the beholder reflects the ideal that beauty is a subjective experience shaped by an individual's inner perception, consciousness, and spiritual awareness rather than an objective truth. So people that you might consider or deem to be ugly in your sight don't mean that they're ugly spiritually. It's just that you deem them to be ugly. Whether you deem them to be albino or too black. Back in my family, they used to say, how come him come out too black? So already in Caribbean families or in Southern families, well, Caribbeans is way down south. Southern families, there's always some type of colorism. Not just in the Caribbean, colorism is also. I remember my friends from down south, they used to say, he's so black. They used to emphasize the black. He's so black. Because there was colorism. Even in the southern parts of America. And the way down southern parts of the Americas, which is the Caribbean, because the Caribbean is a part of the Americas. People just don't know the chronology and the history of Americas and all of its landmass, all the way down from north, all the way down to the Caribbean. It's just different hemispheres beyond the equator. That's all it is. If you put all of them together, you'll see it all meshes out and like a puzzle. Y'all got to know history. Y'all got to know chronology. You got to know anthropology. You got to study. That's why I don't get caught up in this FBA and all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing that with them. That's a bunch of childish stuff because there's a bunch of children that's not studying. They're not going beyond what to surface. People, the FBA, as far as the community here in the major part of the Americas, have invented stuff, just like people in the Caribbean, people in South America, people in Canada have invented their own music and stuff also. It is what it is. Hey, they can have it. Hip hop is there. It's beautiful. I love it. I enjoy hip hop. I love hip hop. So big up to the quote unquote foundation Black Americans. However, if you don't study the chronology and you don't know the history, then you won't know that all of this is the Americas. And every melanated person in all of the Americas are foundational Black Americans. If you don't know the history, if you don't know the history and the chronology, big up to Rod Hayes that also explained that too. Big up to Rod Hayes. I got to get him on my show one day. I got to get Rod Hayes on one of my shows. So big up to him. So going back to the lesson, before I break down the other half of this, because it has a significant meaning. Matter of fact, let me break it down now before I go to the lesson. Because beauty is in the eyes of the beholder in the older system of numerology adds up to 116. And 116 adds up to 8. 8 is another number in its own respect of beauty because most of the even numbers are dealing with beautification. Most of the even numbers, and 5 itself in certain system is known as a number of beauty, but is also known as a number of magnetism, like the number 6 is a number of magnetism also. But 8 is a number of attraction because it deals with abundance. But 8 is also a karmic number. What goes around comes around. That's why it looks similar, or 8, the infinity symbol it's similar to the number 8 if you look at it. It's just on the side. But what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. Both good and bad. What goes around comes around. That's what makes it karma. That's what makes it karma or karmic. Karma only means cause and effect. Please do not get it twisted. Karma means cause and effect. It is not a bad thing. It is not a bad thing. Karma means cause and effect, both good and bad. Karma is not a bad thing. So that 8 is known as a karmic number because what goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around. Get it? If you get it, put it in the chat. Got it. If you get it, put it in the chat. Got it. Everybody put it in the chat. I got it, King. I got it. Understand, understand, overstand. Big up to everybody that's on my Instagram also. Nurse Gemini, what up, girl? V Business, my former wife is on here. What up, girl? How you doing? Bree Spiritual Awakening. If you got it, put it in the chat that you got it. That's why karma can be a beauty queen because of the bad, and karma could be, karma could be a beauty queen because of the good, but karma could also be a biatch. But we've been promoting the biatch of karma instead of the beauty of karma. Because if you're putting out good things, then good things will come back to you. But if you're putting out bad things, then bad things will come back. I remember in my history when I was around 15, 16 years of age, before I even accepted any form of Islam, because I started accepting 5% Islam from 14 years of age. But in 15, I was still on the fence about to get into Islam from the Ansar Allah community perspective. And I remember going out to rob somebody in Queens with friends that I was following. I was the man that was supposed to run and grab the bag while they pulled the gun. In Queens. I remember also we robbed a crew of guys with a big radio, big box without gunpoint. But I was the one that picked up the radio, took it from him and walked away while they had them in gunpoint and I ran away because I was the fastest runner. I remember this. This is back when I was 15 years of age. Never pulled out any weapons, didn't have to. I was a fast runner. But the next couple of weeks show you how karma works. Next couple of weeks, my life path is a number 17, which is an 8. When I add 2 plus 1 February plus February 1st plus 1967 adds up to 1970, and 1970 adds up to 17. 1 plus 7 equals 8. Show you karma came through me real quick. 2 weeks later, my mother got robbed. Not too far from the train station, not too far from the house. 2 weeks later, after I did a robbery. Well, I know karma comes back quickly to me. That's why I had to calm down on that stuff. I had to leave my friends that love to do that alone. I'm not doing that. To a point, one time, I was in the car with my friends, and I said, nah, man, I got to get out of here. I mean, it was just like, that's why I understood what Cuba Gooding Jr. did in Boys to Men, Boys in the Hood. I understood what Cuba Gooding Jr. because I did the same thing when I was younger. Walked out of the car and said, nah, I can't do this. I'm not doing this. They was about to drive off and go do it. I said, nah, I can't do this. And I got out the car and I didn't want to do it. And they went and did it themselves. And the leader, the quote unquote leader, will never mention his name and all that. I don't even know what he's doing in his life. The leader at that time, he said, you know what? Let Simon out. Let Tyrone out. Let him out. Because they called me Tyrone back in those days. Let him out. Please let him out. And they let me out, and I went home to go relax and kept my mouth shut. I didn't tell on nothing. I won't tell. I won't say nothing. I remember that to this day. So I know this karma and why beauty is in the eye of the beholder is so important, because if you don't acknowledge that the beauty is within your own eye, you are the beholder of it. Remember what the word beholder means. According to dictionary meaning, beauty means a person who sees or observes someone or something. So you got to observe or see it within yourself, because it's in the eye of the beholder. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You're the one that's beholden to it. The word beauty means a combination of qualities such as shape, color, or form that pleases the aesthetics senses, especially the sight. The number 2 meaning is a combination of qualities that pleases the intellect or moral sense. So the beauty of who you are, you have to, and because it is an internal and intuitive number that is connected to, and it's a me, myself, and I, you have to recognize the beauty in you first. Don't care about what everybody else says. And usually that's why it's so important that whatever you say to your children, my mother had to protect me from my aunts that used to say, how come him come out so black? And how come him look like this? How come it come out so dark? Because she was a lighter skinned woman and all that kind of stuff. My mother had to say, leave my black boy alone. Leave my black boy alone. It's my child. This ain't your child. My mother had to defend me when I was a child. And then that led to one thing, then going to school with friends that were also suffering from colorism and who looks this and who got wavy here and who got nappy here and all that. That's why I almost removed myself from this realm. I'm not going to say unalive and suicide. That's why I almost at 8 years old removed myself from this realm. Still have the mark on my wrist to prove it. because of colorism and not recognizing that beauty is in the eye of the beholder, which was me, because I was too young to understand. I just thought no one liked me because everybody, especially friends, used to dog me out for my color, my complexion. And then you have a family, not my mother and father, but when you have family members that do it to you, and they do it to light-skinned people too, they do it to lighter people too. So people that are lighter and darker go through this thing. Oh, I known women that got acid poured on them because they looked too good, and because people were jealous. I dealt with a girl that way till her whole face was burnt to her chest. I mean, and that was a whole. We was just having fun, but that type of thing happens. People throwing acid on you and hot water on you to scar you because of how you look. You might look good. You might be light skinned and pretty, and what in Jamaica we call them the browning. Them love the browning. I mean, Buju Banton did a song on browning and then had to come back and do a song on black women. He had to say, "Stop drive for all black women." He had to sing that song because he sang a song about brown women, and now he had to sing because of colorism. Buju had to defend both sides of the spectrum. Buju Banton. I'm just saying, family. I'm just saying. Buju had to defend black women and browning. In Jamaica, brownings are the light-skinned women with the wavy hair, and them look like this, and them feel them prettier than everybody because them come out with pretty hair, and you come out with nappy hair, and your nappy head, nothing come out and do them thing that all that stuff I went through, man. All that stuff I have seen in families, especially in the Caribbean family. And then when I started noticing it in the Southern family, my friends from the Watsons used to say, oh, how their cousins used to say, oh, he's so black. And they say, you so black, you too black, and all that stuff. So beauty in the eyes of the beholder. Interesting enough, the word beauty in the eyes of the beholder, words beauty in the eyes of the beholder, look at the word beholder. The word beholder, because once you understand and behold it, your own beauty and your quality, look at the word beholder. It adds up to a master number 33. What have I told y'all about the master numbers? Those are the portals. Those are the healing portals, the teaching portals, the guiding portals. So when you say the beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and you see a master number 33, which adds up to a 6, it brings balance, harmony, truth, justice, reciprocity, ma'at, healing. Because the word beholder means a person who sees or observe someone or something. So you got to observe and see yourself as beautiful. You can't depend on outside beauty. You got to realize that you have a beautiful spirit, a beautiful energy, you are beautiful. Beautiful. She's so beautiful. I just want you to know. Big up to Pharrell. Beautiful. Big up to Pharrell. Beautiful song. Big up to Angie Stone that promoted beautiful song. Black brothers, brown brothers. But those type of music helps to stimulate us to stay strong, to be proud of our beautiful skin, no matter how light it is, how dark it is, how ashy it is. I know I'm a little ashy. Come on, I'm not ashy Larry now, but I'm a little ashy today. I forgot to put some oil on this. So I understand. You know what I'm saying? And we got to understand and recognize this beauty. Beauty. So going back to the lesson, I'm going to go back to my lesson. We ain't even finished the lesson. I'm still going through it. The perception and inner reflection. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. Spiritually, what we perceive as beauty often mirrors our inner state. Let me say that again. Spiritually, what we perceive as beauty often mirrors our own inner state. If our mind and soul are at peace, we are more likely to see beauty in people, nature, and experiences. This aligns with the ideal that beauty is not merely physical, but is influenced by our energy, emotion, and mindset. Please know that. Please recognize that. Please thumb up and like the video, please. Please thumb up and like the video and share it with your family members as much as you can, family. This ain't no joke, because you got children that are contemplating removing themselves from this realm because they don't feel like they're loved by their parents or their grandparents, or they might not feel like they're loved by their friends that can be malicious and talk badly about them. And please don't forget to donate through Super Chat or Super Sticker if this means anything to you. Just press that $ button or go through PayPal or Venmo or Zelle, the email. Show some love, because this is coming from my heart, because I went through this as a child to the point that I have a razor blade mark right here on my wrist that I can see. It's still small, but it's still dark. At 8 years old, I tried to remove myself from this realm because I didn't feel beautiful. I didn't recognize that beauty is in the eye of the beholder of myself. I didn't know this. So I almost took myself off of this realm because of it. And now I'm here to be able to talk, write books, and share this information, share my story, because it's my story. It may not be your story. It's not the same stories, because you never expect people in your family to judge you because of your complexion, or people that you consider friends to judge you because of your complexion. It's real talk. And I'm about this ministry. This is the ministry of Numerovation. Praise the Creator, praise God, praise Allah, praise Jah, praise whoever you want to praise. This is about the ministry of Numerovation. This is my ministry that's downloading and coming through me at this time, this interval of time, this dispensation of time. And like I said, family, what I do don't take you away from your religious values. Let me say that again for all the people in the back of the universe, this mathematical universe. What I do from a Numerovator, which means motivating you with your numbers that you're born with or the names that you're connected to, helping you to realize that you are a walking book of numbers, not just the book of numbers in the Bible. In the Holy Quran, it says over it is 19, not just the book, the over it is 19 in the Holy Quran. What I do does not take you away from your Christianity, does not take you away from your Islam, does not take you away from your Judaism or your Hebrew. It helps you to be better in your community, because numerology, the study of numbers and its mathematical application, is like a GPS, and all of us are using GPS now. Back in the day, we used to be able to look at the stars and the moon and the North Star and be able to navigate, but now we're all looking at GPSs to guide us. You put in the right address, the numbers, it's included, and then you triangulate what's going on, and it takes you to where you got to go. And that's what I do as a Numerovator, practicing my system of Numerovation, using motivational principles in an innovative way connected to your birthday, names, and words. That's why I do what I do. That's why I do what I do. So when I go back to my lesson here, the lesson, perception and inner reflection. This doesn't hurt anybody in their religion. This helps you to be better in your praise of God and your praise of Jesus and praise of Allah and praise of Jehovah. Spiritually, what we perceive as beautiful often mirrors our own inner state. If our mind and soul are at peace, we are more likely to see beauty in people, nature, and experiences. This aligns with the ideal that beauty is merely physical, but is influenced by our energy, emotion, and mindset. Number two, The power of perception. Different people see the same thing in different ways because their perception is shaped by their experiences, belief, and spiritual growth. A spiritually evolved person, and I'm not talking about just religion, because if you're spiritually evolved, then you see the beauty in every religion. And you don't say, I'm better than, because I believe in Christ, I'm better than you. Or because I believe in Allah, I'm better than you. Because I believe in Buddha, I'm better than you. Spiritually evolved person may find beauty in simplicity, nature, and the soul of an individual rather than external appearances. This aligns with the principle that true beauty radiates from within. You know what's so interesting? I remember hearing that one of my family members, and remember, my family's from the place Misnomer, Jamaica, and Cuba. I got Cuban background, Afro-Cuban, and remember, all of the Caribbeans is part of the Americas. If you put them all together like a puzzle, you'll see that it's all part of the Americas. Let's not get it twisted. Study. But I remember back in the day, one of my relatives stopped listening to one of the reggae artists because they became Rasta, because they started locking their hair. I couldn't believe I heard this. Because a person decided to become or fall under some Rasta religion. You loved all of their music up to this day, up to this time, up to that time. And when they decided to accept some type of spiritual system, you stopped listening to their music because they want to believe in God their own way. What kind of foolishness is that? Because Bob Marley decided to put locks on his head, or John Holt. John Holt used to sing a song. If I was a carpenter and you were my lady, would you marry me anyway? Would you have my baby? Bob Marley sang One Love. He sang it in a ska style, and then he sang it in a reggae style. One heart, let's get together and feel all right. You stop listening to that man, or those men, because they decided to put on the Rasta banner and respect Haile Selassie as their creative force or their God on earth. How dare you? You praising Jesus, who you don't even know 2,000 years ago, but they decide to follow the tenets and love and respect of Rastafari movement, which is connected to the Ethiopian Coptic Church, which is older than Rome. Oh, let me not go, because I can get in. Y'all don't even understand. Let me get back into my lesson. But the point is, different people see the same thing in different ways because their perception is shaped by their experiences, belief, and spiritual growth. A spiritually evolved person may find beauty in simplicity, nature, or the soul of the individual rather than external experiences. This aligns with the principle that true beauty radiates from within. I see the beauty in Christianity. I see the beauty in Islam. I see the beauty in Buddhism. I see the beauty in Hebrew. I see the beauty in Judaism. I see the beauty in Akan. I see the beauty in Voodoo. I see the beauty in Hoodoo. I see the beauty in all of them. Number 3, big up to my father, who more than likely might be tuning in. Big up to him. And my mother, who more than likely might be tuning in. Big up to them. Divine creation and uniqueness. Divine creation and uniqueness. This is very important only because science has proven, family, that each one of us have our own individual fingerprint. Each one of us have our own unique form. Each one of us have our own individual eye retina scan, an eye retina. Each one of us, because of the coming together of mom and dad, because of that coming together, it created something new on this planet, a new element, a new entity, because of the mother and father coming together and the sperm and ovum coming together. It created something new. So you have a new smell as a baby coming out of your mother. New fingerprints. There is a uniqueness in every one of you, but many of you don't bear witness to your uniqueness. And like Dr. B said, big up to Dr. B. Dr. B says, there will not be another time like this. And even if I come on tomorrow and decided to teach the same lesson, it will not be taught the same way. Every moment is different. Every moment is unique. Every moment. And that's the beauty of divine creation and uniqueness. Many spiritual traditions teach that all creation is an expression of the divine, whether you call it God, Allah, Jah, Jesus, whatever you call it. All creation, even the devil, was called the bright and morning star. The bright and morning star. Even the devil was created divine, meaning everything holds beauty in its unique form. When we shift our perspective from judgment to appreciation, we recognize the divine essence in all things, regardless of societal standards. I recognize the beauty of the devil because the devil helps me to realize that I don't need to go down his road, because he decided to leave the garden. He decided to fall from grace. He made up his mind. The angels have the power to make up their mind. And you got those that went with Lucifer and those that stayed with the Creator to do their job. But yet the Creator allows Lucifer to do their job. Go read Job. Go read the book of Job. I read the book of Job years ago, when the sons of God and Satan came amongst him, and then God says, Satan, where you came from? Oh, walking up and down, to and fro on the earth. You know what I usually do, God. Stop playing. You know what I'm doing. Come on now. So we don't realize that this is to me, it's like a game, because God and the devil knows each other. It's in the Bible. What are you talking about? It's there. And it even says that the beast bows down to God, but he only had a job to do. Go read Revelations. That's why most of your pastors are afraid of Revelations. Afraid to teach that, because it will make people accountable for their bull crap. Meaning everything holds beauty in its unique form. And when we shift our perspective from judgment to appreciation, we recognize the divine essence in all things, regardless of societal standards. Love and happiness. Hey, sometimes we do right, and sometimes we do wrong. Love and higher consciousness. Love and higher consciousness. When someone is filled with love, compassion, inner standing, outer standing, and understanding, they tend to see beauty in others more easily. Love elevates our perception, helping us move beyond superficial judgment and embrace the deeper essence of a person or situation. Love and happiness, love and higher consciousness. Hey, tell y'all something, family. This is not a joke. My final thoughts. Yes, I'm about to finish. Yeah, I'm finishing a little earlier. Yes. finishing a little earlier today. My final thoughts. And before I go into my final thoughts, just want to remind each and every one of y'all that this coming Sunday, I'm going to have this beautiful sister on my channel. Her name is Cinnamon. Sounds like cinnamon. Cinnamon Moreau. I was on her podcast. She interviewed me. Grandma's Secrets and the Art of Living a Traditional Life in the Modern World. Big up to Cinnamon. She'll be with me on March the 16th, tomorrow. On Tuesday, my new program on Tuesday, every Tuesday thus far. Today's consciousness and in the conscious community. What happened and how can we change it and heal it? And my dear brother, Mfundishi Juhutamas, great grandmaster, Kemetic priest, scientist, African village chief, spiritual warrior, and holistic healer, will be with me, talking about his return to LIU, Long Island University, to speak at Magical Kemet. Big up to Brother Shabazz and the whole crew that's producing that. Also, before I finish with my final thoughts, thank you very much for those that are thanking me for the lesson today. Thank you very much. My girl Ella, today is her birthday. Happy birthday, yeah, my friend. One more year upon them. Hey, happy birthday, Ella. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to Mama Ella, holistic nutritional consultant and spiritual advisor. She will be with me on Wednesday, March the 19th. That's going to be fire at 9 o'clock, baby. And also big up to my brother, Samuel Lee Fudge, the actual person that is the star of that movie on Amazon called Mosiah. Scan the QR code if you want to join him on March the 25th as they're doing a Marcus Garvey symposium. That's going to be powerful at the Big Bethel AME Church, 220 Auburn Avenue, Northeast Atlanta. I might not be able to make it because I got some things I got to do that day. As a matter of fact, on that day, I'm going to be interviewing this beautiful sister, Abundance Child, on my program called Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community, and preparing for her new radio show coming out on April the 3rd called Abundance Child Live on WJVS Radio. I'll be on her show probably once a month and enjoying myself. And remember, big up to my brother and sister, the one, the only Carsons, the Carson family. Da-da-da-da. 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 The 3rd annual Forbidden Conscious Award is coming up da-da-da-da, on August the 2nd, da-da-da-da, and August the 3rd, da-da-da-da, 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 in Hollywood, Florida. I'll be there. Big up to the Carson family. Make sure y'all go to forbiddenknowledge.com. That's forbiddenknowledge.com/event. All right. All right. So again, I've been breaking down this word. I broke it down. I broke down the meaning of the karma, of course. And also remember that 1, that 6, that 1, and that 6, that 11 represents the spiritual vortex that's opened up for this. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, adds up to 116. 11 I see, and then I see the 6. Boom, 11 is the portal, but 1 represents creativity, 1 represents assertiveness, 6 represents finding balance. It adds up to 575. Boom, all of it adds up to 8. When I add 25 plus 16 plus 41 plus 13 plus 15 plus 45 plus 55 plus 15 plus 78 plus 45 plus 52 plus 55 plus 73 plus 45 plus 2 equals 575. And 575 adds up to 17, which is an 8. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, adds up to 17. 575, adaptable, spirituality, and expansion. So you got to be adaptable if you want to bear witness that beauty is in the eyes of it. You got to be spiritual and attract what you want if you want to recognize that beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. And you have to be willing to expand and grow. And because it adds up to a number 17, you can leave a legacy, because 17 in numerology is the legacy leaving number. 1 deal with creativity, 7 dealing with spirituality and law of attraction, and 8 dealing with karma. What goes around comes around, but deals with learning to recognize what are assets in your life and what are liabilities. That's what the number 8 also represents. So when people don't recognize the beauty inside of you, you got to recognize it in yourself, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Nobody else can behold it but you. And then you will share your beauty with the world. Share your beauty with the world. My final thoughts, if you don't mind, I'm going to share that. In essence, beauty is not only something external, but a reflection of the consciousness and awareness of the observer. When we cultivate inner peace, love, and gratitude, our ability to perceive beauty in everything expands. Let me say that last part. When we cultivate inner peace, love, and gratitude, our ability to perceive beauty in everything expands. Family, from a deeply spiritual perspective, everything is interconnected. Whether you want to believe it or not, all energy is connected. It's just how we use it in this realm. It's how we use it in this realm. Energy is spirit. What keeps the body active, some may call it spirit, but in the scientific world, they'll call it energy. So it's all right to respect your energy, love your energy, recognize the beauty of energy in everything. You could recognize the beauty of energy in even a wicked person, because it alerts you on why you don't want to use that energy the way they're using it. I don't want to use the energy the way Hitler used the energy. I don't want to use the energy the way Leopold used the energy. I don't want to use the energy the way wicked people on this earth, men and women, used it. Margaret Thatcher and Margaret Thatcher and Margaret Sanger and all, how people use it wickedly. I want to use it in a positive perspective, because energy is constant. It only changes form according to their science. According to their science, not my science, according to their science. So on that note, family, I hope I served a greater purpose. For those that are in religious communities, those that are in spiritual communities, those are just atheist people. Hey, because even if you believe there's nothing, that's still a belief in something. If you don't believe in no God, there's still a belief in something. There's no God. You still believe in something. Maybe you just believe in science. You still believe in something. And sometimes science has become a religion. Science now has become an argumenting, dogmatic type religion now. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Remember, family, get my books. I have my ebooks. If you want to get my ebooks, if you can't circulate money to the channel, you can buy my ebooks, which I will email it directly to you. Once you send the payments through Zelle or PayPal or Venmo or yeah, I don't have Cash App. I only use my emergency Cash App for people who want to book a session. This one is called my Numerovational and Spiritual Lessons of Life. Very good book to get, and I give you applicable assignments to use after every workshop. Very easy, very quick. Nothing too deep. And my other book, my other ebook, Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important. This is good for adults also. And inside the book, if you don't want to get the solid book, I have the exemption info and contact in the book also. So if you want to be exempt from vaccines or all that kind of craziness or whatever, you can get that book, and there's a number of contact that you can contact. Also, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. Very good ebook, because that ebook also has the relationship chronicles in it to find out which one of your numbers work energetically with each other. And I don't tell people just to look at the personal numbers. You got to look at the life path also. You got to look at the alignment number too. You got to look at your name numbers and all that. That's why I stopped doing compatibility sessions, but I'm going to start doing compatibility sessions in the new year. The new year is around March 21st. Let's say April 1st, I'm going to officially start doing compatibility sessions. But when you text me for a compatibility session, know that the frequency is what it is. The currency that I ask for is what it is. If you can't handle it, you can pay in increments. But because I got to do a whole lot of mathematical breakdown with both the person's names to see how they work and their birthday. And then I got to talk to both of you on the line for 90 minutes. 90 minutes. And y'all get to ask all your questions and all that kind of stuff, all of that. Compatibility sessions are very important, especially. And I only want people who are serious about one day getting married or serious about being in a real committed relationship. Don't come to me if you just want to find out if these three women are good for you, which one is better for you. Don't come with me to that bull crap and I will hang up the phone on you. I won't even answer your text. That's how deep it is for me. Now, if the women that you're dealing with are interested in a polygamous or polygynous situation, then we could probably do that whole breakdown. That's going to cost a little bit more because you're dealing with 3 when my compatibility session is only for 2 people. But if you're dealing with 3 and 4 and all that, or women have a bunch of men that they practice in polyamory and all that kind of stuff, I can deal with that. I can break down who's going to work for you, which one works, what's going to give you a little, who's going to be more problematic. I can do all of that with numbers. Numbers show you all of that. It shows you the pattern, cycles, and sequences of everybody connected to a number. So when I start doing compatibility session, I ain't playing with you. I'm going to point out the garbage, the crap, and I'm going to point out the power. I'm going to point out your challenges in relationship and what are some of the best months and days and that y'all could work it out and do blah, 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 blah. But you got to realize, and I'll even send you to a relationship counselor if you're serious about it, because some of y'all need premarital relationship counseling. This is a good book. This is a good book with the Relationship Chronicles. This is a good book. This is Numerovation for Mental Stability ebook with various mental health methods of healing. I got that in the back of the book. Various methods of healing in the solid book if you want the solid book, but this is the ebook just in case you just want it in the email and you'll print it out yourself and study it and do whatever you got to do. Also, for March, this is the last March. I did it for February. I'm doing it for March. I have 14 copies left. And it's only for those in the United States that want the book. All you have to do is text me for the payment info. Limited signed copies of this book is right here, right now. For $36, I sign it, put your name and all that. And I tell you to send me your birthday so I can break down at least one number meaning of each thing in your birthday. So I can help you out a little bit, at least, before you book a session with me. Okay. You can get all my books on Amazon, of course. Let We Tell a Story, Numerovation for Mental Stability, Numbers Are Simple, Children's Health is Important, Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated, and also No Promotion is Bad Promotion. You can get all those books on Amazon right now. Some of them come in Kindle form, some of them do not, okay? Also, Numerovation for Mental Stability, again, is on Amazon. For those outside of the United States, use Amazon to get the books to you, okay? Want to big up Color Curiosity. She was in the chat. I know she's traveling and moving. So big up to Color Curiosity. Make sure y'all support Color Curiosity. Hit up Millicent at the number 813-325-4205 or hit her up at Color Curiosity LLC. Big up to Dr. Shakira Moore. If you want her iridology service, remember, the eyes are the windows to my soul. Only reason why I'm wearing glasses in front of this computer, this is called the Blue Blocker Gunner glasses, and it helps block a lot of the energy coming from the computer so it can protect my eyes. And because I'm born under the number 1 frequency, 1 rules the eyes in numerology. And that's why this book is so important about health, because I talk about that in this book. But if you want your eyes fixed or look at the soul of your eyes and look at the health of your eyes, iridologist Dr. Shakira Moore can help you. Make sure you call that number 570-972-9308. Also, those that have been suffering from negative energy, negative energy and going through it with negative energy, if you're going through it, oh, okay, she's in St. Martin. Okay, I thought she was in Jamaica. Big up to Mama Ella. She in St. Martin. St. Martin. Big up to St. Martin. Big up to her. Hey, Mama Ella, happy birthday again. Enjoy your birthday. Thought she was in Jamaica. Those who want to remove negative energy and you feel that you might have negative energy, if the church ain't helping, if the mosque is not helping, if the Hebrew temple is not helping, then go to somebody that specializes in that. Negative energy removal. Here's Adara Moselle, very, very good person. She's helped me. She's my massage therapist, but she's helped me move some energy also, you know, and she also lets you know which one of your energy fields need a little bit more help. So contact her via adaramoselle.com. She does a free consultation first. Also, Color Curiosity does a free consultation first. But Adara also does free consultation to see where you're at, and then y'all could proceed with the session. Okay? Negative energy removal, personal power activation, dealing with true Tantra, energy healing. Scan the QR code or go to a website and tell her that King Simon sent you. If you're willing to get into some martial arts or know the spirituality of martial arts, the energetic meaning of martial arts, online or offline, face-to-face, this sister right here is very good to deal with, Professor Zahelia. Very beautiful sister, very good at what she do. Raw Life Defense is her IG. And you can also contact her at that number. Contact for spiritual, physical advice about martial arts, consultation, classes, workshops, anywhere in the world. As long as you fly her out and take care of her family and her, she's all right. She's good. She's been doing this for over 30 years, 25 to 30 years. Seminars, online, eye to eye. Serious inquiries only. Big up to Sister Zahelia. Somebody was giving a doctor the other day. Oh, man. Big up to, first of all, I want to say big up to the Nation of Islam. Condolences to one of their ministers that just transitioned, Minister Rasul Muhammad. He was the son of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. He transitioned the other day. I got to meet him years ago. Great singer, great performer, great musician. Condolences to Brother Ishmael. His brother is Ishmael. His mother was Sister Tanetta Muhammad. Brother Rasul just transitioned. Big up to Brother Rasul Muhammad. And also Dr. Aziz Muhammad, Professor Grandmaster Anthony Muhammad, now known as Aziz Muhammad, is now called Dr. Aziz. He got his honorary doctorate in martial arts and the martial arts sciences now. And his brother is now a chief professor, Chris Smooth Muhammad, in the martial arts system of Sanukis, us. Because I trained under Sanukis also. Big up to all the family of Sanukis and all of them. Big up to that. And that's why I shout her out, because she's been a Sanukis practitioner since her father been training her since she was young. So big up to her. Also, this is my son's business. That's his cleaning services, pressure wash, car detailing, dumpster wash. Call him at the number 512-429-9522. And this is my other son's business in New York. Call him if you want any recordings, audiobooks, music, all of that, bringing instruments or bringing musicians and all that to play raw music to your tracks. Hey, call him or contact him at 347-455-9056 or leave a message at 929-456-3009. Okay? Just want to let people know all of the stuff that I got going on, all of the people that's happening, all of the good information and good services that we have here on my channel. If you want to advertise with my channel, it's okay. You can advertise with my channel. I do take advertisement, and I got a great deal sponsorship package going on right now for 3 months. I got a great sponsorship package for right now. If you got a good product or good services that you want to advertise on my channel, please text me at 347-496-1022. Say you'd like to sponsor, and I'll send you the sponsorship levels of it. And also, if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name, date of birth and email to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. 1022. I do have 4 different sessions. I have the 10-minute pre-recorded, 15-minute pre-recorded. You get to ask 3 to 4 questions, and I email it to you and send it to you, and the link. And I have a 30-minute and 60-minute session. And with the 30-minute and 60-minute, because of its circulation price, you can pay in increments and pay it off. And then we can proceed with the booking. Okay? So if you want to book a session with me, text me your full name, date of birth, and email to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022 if that's what you want to do. All right? This book is coming out. This book is coming out, and this book is coming out. Remember what Dr. B says. Please, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I'm thankful for my life. And remember what Dr. Blair says. Please, Universal Creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Family, thank you very much for being a part of the journey. Hope you got a chance to circulate. And if you didn't get the chance to circulate through Zelle or PayPal or Venmo or Super Chat, remember, you can always circulate by at least watching at least 15 to 30 minutes commercials on this channel. Every time you watch it, 15 to 30 minutes of commercials on this channel. Not 30 minutes, I'm sorry, 15 to 30 seconds. 15 to 30 seconds. That's 15 to 30 seconds of commercial on this channel. They also split that finance with us. All YouTube channels, that's it. So 15 to 30 seconds of watch time of a commercial. Beautiful. Not my commercials that I'm broadcasting. I'm talking about a YouTube commercial. So if you watch 15 to 30-second commercials, believe me, I'll prefer the 30-second commercial. They will split the finance with us at the end of the month. That's what they do. All right. Just want to let you know, just in case you cannot donate or you might not have it right now. You don't want to circulate. It's all right. But again, YouTube pays on the pennies. They really, unless I had 1 million followers, it'd be different. Whatever donating that is, but I don't know what that is. But I know they make a lot because they have a lot of followers. And since I have limited amount of followers, and again, this is King Simon only presents quality people. I rather the quality than the quantity. So I build my platforms organically. I'm not paying for subscriptions. I'm not doing none of that. I build it by you sharing with other people. By you sharing this broadcast with friends and family, that helps build the algorithms. That helps build my channel, and I'm doing it organically. All right. Have a great day, afternoon, and evening. Be safe, be strong, be focused. And remember, like I always say, I love you because I love me. Take care, be strong, be loved, and love yourself. Peace. Today's consciousness. What happened and how can we change it? From the pristine position that we held in today's consciousness, here's a new show just for you every Tuesday called Today's Consciousness. Be there and enjoy all the great special guest stars that will be passing through on a new show called Today's Consciousness. Today's Consciousness. Are you ready to address all the things that are going on? And how can we heal today's consciousness? Today's Consciousness. Right here on KSP TV. Today's Consciousness. What happened and how can we change it?
It's your girl Sandy Daly, and it's reggae and world music's biggest night of honor, the 42nd Annual International Reggae and World Music Awards, IRAMA, hosted by legendary comedian, actor, and lifetime honoree Oliver Samuels, with performances from Nigel Boy, Belize legend Lloyd Wayburn, Richie Stephens, Everton Blender, D'Angel, and a galaxy of other reggae and world music acts. Going down at the Coral Springs Center for the Arts, South Florida, Sunday, March 30th, 2025, with celebrity red carpet arrivals at 6 p.m. For a limited time, get 50% discounted tickets now at irama.com. Or to become a sponsor, email iramasponsor@gmail.com. Sponsored by Broward County, Florida Cultural Division, Tough Gong International, VP Records, Reggae Festival Guide, Elite Chauffeurs Florida, and so many others. Powered by Martin's International, bringing nations together through music and culture.
Numerovation with King Simon. Text me now at 347-496-1022. You can also take my course if you want to, but do text me for your sessions at 347-496-1022. You can also get my books on Amazon at Linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. Remember, you can book your session and get it done right now. 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. King Simon the Numerovator.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.